In 2025, I want you to think of yourself as an AI generalist. Go and master 3 or 4 AI tools and then get yourself $1,000 per month client by taking the content they already have and repurposing it. Then what you can do is you can explode their growth, or if you already have a newsletter for yourself, a blog, something like that, you could explode your own growth. And we're going to do the whole thing with free AI tools. So let me show you what I'm talking about. This YouTube channel is called the Pickleball Studio. Now, I did a very, very simple Google search in order to find this particular creator. What I was looking for initially was their their Beehiiv newsletter. And you can see here that they are putting out their newsletter. Now, there's a couple of red flags in here that suggest to me that they might be struggling to put out their newsletter content, and I'll get to those in a second. But from here, what I was able to do was I was able to use their social links in order to find that they have a really, really big following over on YouTube, which is good news for me because I can use this content here in order to write their newsletter for them and repurpose their content. I also found they have a second channel, which is even better news for me because this is podcast style content. And I could definitely help them with this, especially as they don't have any shorts videos on here yet. And as you can see, I know that they're going to be making some money from their YouTube channel, and they've got this great newsletter, which is already full of ways that they are monetizing. So I would be able to talk to them and I'd be able to give them some ideas. Now they could go away and do these things themselves, but what I would want to do is I want to be able to save them time. And I would be able to put together a package for them that would be up to $1,000 a month, repurposing their content and helping them in order to get more traffic. Now, it doesn't mean that they want that. They might want a smaller package, but that is the package that I feel for this creator I would be wanting to start with. Now, what we use in order to do this is we have a very simple framework where we go through and we review a newsletter for a particular client. Now, this is a scaled back version of what we use, but you could use this to start off with. And we just go through all of these, and I would find what I felt to be the biggest pain points. Now, as you can see from the thumbnails and from this style of YouTube channel, they have absolutely no issue whatsoever with putting their content together. I can see in their newsletter, we've got great thumbnails, great titles. And when I go into these newsletters as well, I can see that what they are doing, they've had a lot of experience with writing and they're doing all the right things in terms of formatting. So I don't really feel like I need to help them with the writing part, but what I could do is I could help them with AI. Now, we've gone through this in more detail in our community. There's a link on the homepage of this YouTube channel that you can click on in order to be able to access that. Or if you comment down below community, I'll directly send you the link. But I would be saying to this person is I'd be saying, are you using AI? Because what I can do is I would create a custom GPT just for this person. Now, that doesn't mean you have to have paid ChatGPT. What you could do is you could just start a new chat inside your free version of ChatGPT and you could just train that on their data. But I would create my own custom GPT personally. And what I would do is I would use all of this information in their YouTube channels, all of this that they've been talking about, in order to be able to write their newsletter for them. So that's the first thing I'd be doing. I'd be taking their YouTube videos, analyzing the transcript, and creating a newsletter for that. Now, I have my own prompt that I would be able to use. Like I said, I train my custom GPT on their content, and that would help me create a better newsletter for them. What I would be doing then is that's the first bit of content repurposing that I will be doing for them. And what I can see here is that they're bringing out a newsletter sort of twice a month if I look at the cadence, but I could bring out more content for them. We could go up to weekly and I could put up for them a weekly newsletter in draft, everything done for them, and then they would just have to review it and then they would have to schedule it, or as we work together, I would take over the scheduling as well. But what I can see is, first of all, they haven't designed thumbnails for these two. This one here is missing a title. So it just suggests to me that Chris might be struggling a little bit with creating the content and keeping on top of things. And just things are getting missed. And so I would be able to step in for him and I would be able to support him by writing this newsletter for him using AI. And I don't have a huge knowledge of pickleball, but what I do have is I have all of his knowledge in his previous newsletters and in his videos that I could train a custom GPT on. Then what I would do is I would take a look at growth, because this is one area I think I could really help Chris out with. So the first thing I noticed is that a lot of Chris's newsletters are not indexed in Google, and he could be getting some traffic from there. So that's the first thing that I would approach him with and say, look, this is quite a quick and easy fix for me to put into place. It wouldn't bring instant results, but over time it should start to bring him in some extra traffic. And that's something that I could do for him very easily. The next thing that I would be doing is I'd be talking to him about a referral program, because when I take a look at his newsletter and I take a look inside, he's not using the Beehiiv referral program. I looked through 5 or 6 of these and I didn't see anything about a referral program. So what I'd be talking to Chris about is I'd be saying, look, let's find a low cost but high value product or service for your audience. Okay, and let's give it away in the referral program. So it's not a traditional giveaway. Chris already does loads of giveaways. And so I think he's got that covered. Might be able to help him in the future. But what I'd be saying is, like, let's find something that people value that's very, very low cost to you. So something around the $5 mark. And let's give that away. Now, this could even be a digital project that Chris has created, and then there wouldn't be any cost. And because I've got all of this information from Chris about his business and what he's creating content on, I could, again, use a different AI tool. I wouldn't use ChatGPT. I'd use a different tool, and I would be able to create for him an ebook or something like that that he could give away if that's something that he felt was high value. But it could even be something as simple as a $5 Amazon voucher. And I would say, give away this for everybody who qualifies for 2 referrals. Now, the way I do this is it wouldn't just be open. I'd run it for a short amount of time. So maybe over 2 editions of his newsletter. So we'd say, right, over the next 2 weeks, anybody who brings in 2 referrals qualifies for a $5 gift voucher. Now, if we had lots of people entering, we'd just limit it. We'd say, let's limit it to 20 people. Okay, so that's going to cost him $100. But in terms of cost per subscriber, that's going to be really low, because anybody who brings in more than 2 subscribers, they're not getting anything extra. Anybody who brings in only 1 subscriber doesn't qualify to get the $5 prize, whatever it is. So if somebody brings in 10 subscribers, it's still only costing Chris $5. If people only bring in 1 subscriber over that 2 weeks, then it hasn't cost them anything. But then on top of that, he can run it again the next month, again the next month, over the same terms. And it's just because he's got that sense of urgency, people are more likely to do it. Now, I don't think Chris is using the paid Beehiiv plan. I definitely know he's not using Max, because he hasn't removed the Beehiiv branding. When I go all the way down to the bottom of his newsletter, I can see that it's got the powered by Beehiiv. So I know he's definitely not on Max. He might be on Scale, but I don't think he is. I think he's still using Launch. That's my suspicion. He may be over the 2,500 subscribers. I haven't been able to find out his numbers. But if he's over 2,500, he's in Scale. And if he is using Scale, then I'd have a conversation with him, because I don't think he's making the most out of it. And I think we could make him some more money. And the way I do that is I would first of all say, like, let's turn on Boost. Let's grow. And that would happen when others promote his newsletter. Okay, so if others promote his newsletter, then he would grow, and he would have to pay for that. But again, you can get very cheap subscribers, and I'll show you that in a second. And also he would earn when he promotes others, which is going to make the money back. So actually, you could get subscribers and not have to pay a huge amount, because if you are getting 100 subscribers for other newsletters, and that's bringing in, you know, subscribers to you as well, then you might actually end up in a position where it's not costing anything apart from what you need to pay for Beehiiv, which for 1,000 subscribers is $34 a month, and then you have to pay more as you grow. But if we head over to Boost here, this is the Boost marketplace. You can only access this if you're on the paid plan. However, if you've got the free trial, you can access this as well if you want to do a little bit of research. Now, I should say as well, if you want a discount on this, we can get 20% off if you use our link, and that's down in description. Okay, but this is what the Boost marketplace looks like. Now, if I go over to here, and I put in pickleball, and then I can see that I've got this newsletter here. Now, I took a quick look at this newsletter for Chris, and I saw that this is tips and insights, whereas Chris's newsletter is more about equipment. So these aren't directly competing, but this newsletter here has got a huge number of subscribers that are in exactly the same niche, so exactly the same audience. So Chris would be able to earn for referring, but then he could also work with this other newsletter in order to send him over some subscribers as well, because anyone who signs up to the Daily Dink, then Chris's newsletter could be promoted, and then they would probably very likely also subscribe to Chris's because they are interested in the same thing. So I would definitely be having a conversation with this newsletter operator, and as you can see, if Chris promotes it, he's going to get $2 per subscriber. If I go over here, and this time I'm searching by the US because that's where the bulk of Chris's audience is from, you can see these are all US based newsletters, okay? And I just keep hitting load more here, and more and more and more come up. And Chris could just go through this and find any newsletter that fits his demographic. Doesn't have to be people that are interested in pickleball directly, but what he'd be able to do is he'd be able to earn from these newsletters. So anytime he promoted any of these and people also subscribe to it, then he would be able to earn. So this one here, for example, it's it's $1 per subscriber, but he's getting access to 1 million plus people according to this one. So loads and loads of newsletters, but it also works in the other way, that he could get these newsletters to promote him. There would be a cost, but like I said, if he's getting $1 subscribers from this newsletter, and on top of that he's earning $1, then the money cancels each other out. On top of that, he could search by sport. If I scroll all the way down here, we could limit a little bit more, so people that are in the US that are interested in sports, because then maybe he feels they're more likely to be interested in pickleball as well. And again, you can see all of these newsletters, pages and pages and pages of them, and Chris through and start earning from these, and then on top of that, growing his own base as well. So that's something that I would talk to Chris about. And then the other thing that I talked to him about is when I checked out his welcome email and subscribed to his newsletter, it didn't have an affiliate link in it. It did have a lead magnet, which was great. So that's obviously a way that he's getting people into his newsletter, because if they subscribe, they get this lead magnet, which is awesome. But what I would also suggest is I'd say put an affiliate link in there, because the welcome email is going to have the highest open rate. It's going to have the most people are going to click on the links, highest click-through rate. But on top of that, you've got the most likely to be able to buy. So if he's got a product or he's got an affiliate that he wants to promote, I would squeeze that in with his newsletter welcome email. I was really happy with everything else he was doing in there. He was doing all the standard things that we recommend people to do in a welcome email. That's just one more thing that I would consider in order to give him the opportunity to make a little bit more money. And that can be swapped out anytime. So that if he wanted to switch up the affiliate link over time, then he could totally do that. That's really easy to do. So this is how you can get yourself a $1,000 a month content repurposing client, because Chris could potentially need the help with his newsletter. And if you're going to use AI to do that, and you're going to say to him, look, I can get you up to 4 a week, which is going to help you. All you have to do is the reviewing and the editing, throw in your affiliate links, and then you can obviously offer to do that. Chris could provide you with that information very easily. Then I would go in and say, look, I'm going to sort the SEO out for you straight away, completely for free, just for signing on in the first month. And then I would keep on top of that for him. We would set up the referral program, and then I could manage that for him, and I could manage his boosts as well. So a little bit of meeting time at the beginning, and then I would be able to manage this for him in order to help him grow. I'm also helping him write his newsletter, but I can also take the content that is on his YouTube channels and I can repurpose these for him using AI tools. I can take these longer videos and repurpose them into more video content that he can use on YouTube, and he could use it also on his other social media platforms. So it'd be very easy for me to put together a package, pitch Chris, help him out, help him save some time. increase the amount of content that he's putting out that will help him ultimately with growth for very little time invested for him. And then we would just negotiate the size of the package. If he didn't want to go for a big one, then we could drop this down. I would be able to do less for him. So for example, if he wanted to stick to twice a fortnight for the newsletter, and I can do all this for him initially using free tools and then build up from there. Now, if you'd like more detail, more support on exactly how we do this, like I said, the community is the place for you to go in order to find that out. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next one.